If you have been keeping up with me on my Instagram, then you would know that I have officially moved to the Dominican Republic. I'm staying in Las Terrenas right now, and this is literally right off the coast of the water. I could literally walk from my apartment right here to like 2 minutes down this way, and I would literally be at the front of the beach, a beautiful part of the beach called Playa Punta Popi. And man, this is a dream come true. For a long time, I always wanted to experience more in this world. And honestly, before cutting hair, I never really even got the chance to travel. And it's been super remarkable at the fact of how much my life has changed in just these past couple years, honestly. And now I'm at the point where I actually can make the arrangements to move to uh, a beautiful country like the Dominican Republic. I'm gonna be out here for the next 6 months, so this is definitely another chapter of my life. I fully retired from cutting hair. Before I was doing like 2 3 days cutting hair for whatever reason, just because I still wanted that security, but I knew I was definitely at a point where I could go full time in my online business and be totally fine. And there were a few reasons why I wanted to move to DR. I had another option like Miami. Sorry, I'm a little sick. But truthfully, me going to Miami would have just been me following the crowd. It would have just been me being, money hungry, kind of just going over there strictly for the money. But, with my mom getting out of jail and me not being able to be with her for, the last 13 years of my life prior to now, uh, it was just something in my life that I just knew was right. If I would have went anywhere else, it would have felt wrong. When I obviously do have the opportunity to come over here and be with her, and it was just something that God had corrected me on. Because obviously, I'm thinking in my head personally, I was like, yo, you know what? Go to Miami, make more money, and then I'll give some time and attention to my mom. But God just showed me it was the other way around. You know, go be with your mom, enjoy this time that you know for sure where you got her, and she needs you in this moment. So that's really why I came over here. And on top of that, there was a few other small things that I knew would benefit me as well. The fact that the food out here is so much better, so much healthier than all the processed foods that we eat in the States. Secondly, the story is just so much better of like, man, I moved to DR when I was 22, and I was able to, for 6 months just live the DR life. And then lastly, bro, it just was so much more aligned with the way that I see things, right? Like, yes, I am very ambitious. Yes, I love to make a lot of money. Yes, I love the grind and the hustle. But really, what I'm searching for out of all of this and everything that I do is peace and freedom. That's at the foundation of what my life has been about since I was 16, 17, and I started to become a man. I wanted freedom and I wanted peace. And ever since I came to Christ, that's exactly what I've been given, that freedom and that peace that I needed to look for. So this is a dream come true to be able to be here and do what I'm doing now, and, be able to have a business online that could fund this type of lifestyle for me. But that doesn't mean that this is it. This just means that I have to work harder, that I have to get more consistent, and that's exactly what I'm gonna do. I have people that look to me and they're like, yo, you know what, I want to be like this guy. I like the way he does things, and to me that just means that I have a standard that I have to hold myself up to, and I have to constantly be improving every single day. So I think that's what's important about all of this that I got going on. But man, there's no other way I would rather do it. To me, I really think like there's no other place I would rather be. There's no other place that better suits me. And yeah, so I mean, I get to enjoy this beautiful view. I get to experience Dominican Republic, and I'm gonna be here for a while, so you guys are gonna see all of my videos. I'll probably take you guys around a little bit. I'll show you guys some of the nice places that I've been to. You're gonna be seeing a lot more from me on my YouTube videos, being a lot more consistent. So this is just what's gonna come with this, man. I've been here for about a week, and I've just been settling in, trying to get the hang of things. Obviously, been going to the beaches a lot, hanging out by the pool. So it's time to lock in. It's time to get real serious about the business and what we came here to do. So this is just one of many. Man, if you're a kid out there that's looking to get freedom and get peace, I promise you, barbering is a great way to do it, man. I'm always telling people, barbering is great, but it is just a stepping stone, man. You don't want to be caught in the barbering for way too long, bro. Use it, build up your brand, build up your social media. It is extremely easy to build up your social media presence with barbering. You automatically hold value in the market. So if you just put attention into doing that, you could build something and use the brand that you built in order to continue accelerating your progression. Uh, so if you're out there and you're looking to get into barbering, man, there's nothing else I would recommend other than this. If you already started cutting hair, bro, like if you have a passion for it, you love what you're doing, yo, go ham. Use that ambition that you have. I was super excited when I first started cutting hair about cutting hair. You know, I couldn't believe that I was actually becoming a barber, but as you go through your journey, God is going to guide you to different places. And for me, coaching is just what God ended up guiding me towards, right? I was coming up with so many different ideas in my head of what I could do or other possibilities that I could have in terms of, you know, this whole industry. I could go to streaming, I could go into teaching. I never really cared to teach people how to cut hair, but other people go into like teaching people how to cut hair. But the coaching just seemed a lot more important to me, teaching people how to make more money, how to develop their business, how to become a better version of themselves. All these things were more important to me. So I ended up going this route. And it's brought me here. You know, I'm living my dream life, bro. I take care of my body. I have my dream body. I have my dream business. And to me, this is the pinnacle of what it's all about, bro. I've reached the things that I've wanted to reach, and this video may not be entertaining for a majority of people, but it's not even about that. You know, I would want one of my son to see this video and be like, wow, that's crazy that my dad was really, you know, doing this at this point in his life before I was even born. And that's really what all this is about, bro. How can I leave an impact far deeper, far greater than myself? I'm at the point in my life where if it's not going to outlast me, then it really doesn't have a purpose. I host my 5 a.m. Bible studies. I teach men how to grow their business. I teach anybody how to grow their business, really. It just happens to be men. But more importantly, I teach people how to have a better perspective on life, whether I'm on my Instagram stories. If you don't follow me on Instagram, I would highly recommend you do, because I drop a ton of game on there. I show a lot of love on there. Whether it's my Instagram stories, whether it's my YouTube, whether it's someone meeting me in person, I do my absolute best to show the Christ in me, to show the transformation that I've had and affect people in that way. Because if I was to do something in this world and it didn't leave an impact, if I felt like I was here and I did nothing with the time that God has blessed me with, I feel like I failed. And as men, I feel like we should all feel that way. We should all feel like we have a purpose and we have things to get done. There is no time to be sitting on the couch watching Netflix for hours and hours. There is no possible way that we could achieve what God has for us by laying down and being lazy and eating hot Cheetos every single day. Like, we have to get to a point in life where we get serious. And I think in this generation, because of all these things that have been made and these inventions, everything's been made to make our life easier. And therefore the challenge of actually getting up and doing something challenging is dissipated. People aren't doing things that are challenging anymore. Everyone's just trying to get that job where, you know, they make enough but they don't do a lot of work, where they have the weekends off and, you know, they're able to take off on the weekends, or they settle for a couple weeks out of the year for vacation. And to me personally, that's not a life that I want to live, and neither should you. We were made to be free. We were made to be peaceful. We were made to enhance other people's lives. We are the body of Christ, and every single part of the body has a function, or else it wouldn't be there. So as the body of Christ, it's our job to do something in this world that's going to be productive, that's going to help other people. And I think at the end of the day, that's what we're here for. You know, if we're not being intentional with the time that God has given us, then what are we doing? You know, and me personally, I just wish I had someone like myself, you know, by my side and in my corner, when I didn't know these things, you know, before I started reading the Bible, before I grew a connection with Christ, before I paid tens of thousands of dollars for mentorships. You know, this is why I'm at this position, is because I forced myself to get around those people. I forced myself to read the Bible. And through that, God blessed me with understanding and clarity, and that's why I'm able to understand things on a different level. Uh, but that's why I'm here for you guys. The same way that I'm doing this for my son, hopefully, my YouTube videos are still out there, and he'll be able to see the things that I'm speaking about, and be able to see, just in case anything ever happens to me, he could still get to know me. So I think that's very important in this life, to be able to leave something past ourselves. But yeah, man, I'm just here. There's no other place I'd rather be, and I think this is where a man should be at this point in his life. I'm not saying that you guys have to stay away from Miami or stay away from whatever's popping, in your eyes, but do the things that really is gonna bring you joy. Do the things that are truly gonna fulfill you in life. Be joyful. Do everything with love and happiness and fun, bro, because that's gonna make your journey so much easier. I think so many people get I gotta get to the bag, I gotta get to the bag, I gotta get to the bag, that they start idolizing it. And once that happens, your day is kind of ran by how much money did you make, what did you make today, what did you get from people today. Whereas me, I'm more focused on serving at this point in my life. How can I serve people better? Regardless of what that means for me, what do I get out of it? Basically, what I'm saying is, I'm laying up my treasures in heaven. Obviously, I want to get a lot of money. I want to get the nice cars. I want to get the nice houses. I want all these things, right? But the most important thing to me is not the money. I don't wake up and think about, man, I gotta go run up 10 bands today. The main thing coming up on my mind is, man, how can I be more faithful to God? How can God look at me today and be happy with the work that I did? And not everyone's gonna tell you that. Not everyone is that type of businessman, or they won't give you that type of business advice. But me personally, I don't see myself just as a business coach. I think one of the best traits that I have is the fact that I'm not completely business minded. I look for what's gonna fulfill me in life. What's the wealth that I can achieve out of life? Because it's more than just money, man. I mean, money is great. Money's a tool. I would say that. We shouldn't be servants to money. Money should be our servant. And I think once we're able to understand that, and we're able to use money for what it is, that's when life gets fun. And the only way that you can use money as a tool is by becoming the master of money. If you're able to master money, it doesn't affect you in a way where it sways your decisions or sway what you do. Like I said, I was going to move to Miami because to me that made more sense of like, oh, I'm gonna be able to make more money here. I'm gonna be able to get to that 100K a year, 100K a month that I've been wanting to get to. But truthfully, man, the decision to come to DR is what God wanted. It's what He spoke to me. And if I'm going to do anything in this world right here, we have 100 short years here, just about. We have just about 100 short years. If I'm going to do anything with these 100 years, it's going to be to please God, bro. Because as a Christian, as a young Christian man, I understand it's not over. Once these 100 years here on earth are up, it's not over. We are going somewhere after this. And what did you lay up for yourself? What did you leave behind, and what did you lay up for yourself in heaven? If that's not what the focus is, then what are we doing here, right? Because my biggest concern is eternity. My biggest concern is what happens after this. And if I don't lay up treasures for myself in heaven, and everything that I received was here on earth, then once I leave this earth, I have nothing. But if I lay up all my treasures in heaven, and I have faith in God and the plans that He has for me, I go a different path than majority of people. I think there are more than enough people that can show other men how to make money in this world. But I think the biggest blessing that I have personally is I'm able to show people how to make money, but at the same time, I'm able to show people how to live life. And I'm always constantly improving. but God has blessed me with the wisdom to know what is right and what is wrong. What is the right way to live and what is the wrong way to live. So from that knowledge that Christ has given me, I just choose to pass that on to people. And I find that much more important than the money. Because the money can come so many different ways. But finding true life, finding true fulfillment, finding true joy can only come from one way, one person, and that's Yahweh. And that's what I'm gonna preach until the day that I die, because it's what's changed my life, and it's still changing my life. And even though I may not be perfect, even though I may not wake up and do everything the way that I'm supposed to, God still blesses me. God still brings me his children. He still trusts me with his children. And until that day ends, until God says he doesn't trust me with his children anymore, I'm going to continue to speak these things that he's telling me to speak. I'm going to continue to do the things that he's telling me to do. I really didn't have a plan for this video. I just wanted to let you guys know that I moved to DR and kind of where my head is at right now. And that's pretty much it, man. I think as a 22-year-old that retired from cutting hair and moved to his home country that he realistically has never been to until this point in his life, this is the best decision I could have ever made. And regardless of whether it was or it wasn't, I'm gonna take this decision and I'm gonna make it the best decision I've ever made, because that's the only thing that I'm able to do. So yeah, I hope this video dropped some clarity. You guys are gonna be seeing more videos from me here in DR, in Las Terrenas to be specific. So I pray that God blesses you guys and he keeps you close, man. God bless you.